G'day folks, this is Sim and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft done from down under. Well, we got back safely. I then promptly suffocated myself in a wall placing a block. But anyway, I've been playing around here trying to get an idea of how I want the support beams to look. Because I do want it to have a kind of realistic look about it, with pillars and cross supports, and we're actually going to have open beams on the inside. So this is what I've come up with at the moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off the supports and then come back, and then we'll start looking at filling in the walls. And we're back, and before we get to building, I have been on a little bit of a journey. I decided that I really wanted some redder wood, and the best red wood in the game that I can get access to easily is chestnut, and I did find some chestnut trees. You can see, looking at the window frames up there, the red chestnut definitely pops out a lot better than the other. I still haven't even decided for sure whether I'm going to work with the frames this way, because you can see the Z fighting that's going on. As soon as I move, you get all this flickering where they actually come together, and it's annoying, but I just love those window frames. They look so good, and the mobs can't get through them. The baby zombies won't fit through the gaps like that. So glass would get around that problem, but that's just not TerraFirmaCraft. So anyway, I went for an explore, found the chestnut trees that I knew were around, and I've planted a whole bunch down there temporarily so I can get access to the wood. And the main reason that I want the wood is that the roof will probably be the same color as the window frames. But anyway, there were a couple of interesting things that happened on the trip, so I'm just going to cut out here for a moment, just to share those little interludes with you, and then we'll get back to work. Dance for me, honey, dance for me. You so fine. Gotta admit, that looks pretty damn fine. Let's take a moment to take a closer look at that terrain, shall we? Firstly, we've got this massive mountain over here, which looks pretty damn fine all by itself. And then if we head over this way, we've got this range over here. More of it should come into view as we get closer, obviously. Now this territory here will eventually green up. What happens is that the grass does actually slowly spread over time. We have a look at this over here. It's a shame we've got a few lighting errors tucked away in there. But yeah, I mean, you can imagine living up in that mountain there with the river flowing through down here. It just looks absolutely awesome. Anyway, I need to get back to things, so I'll see you again shortly. It's just freaking majestic, isn't it? Now, that's coal of some sort, but that up there looks purple. I don't know whether you can see it from here, but I really want to get up there and have a look at what that is, because that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. I'm probably digressing from the video that I'm recording at the moment, but I think it's worth the effort just to try to get up there, if nothing else. How are we going to do this? Probably should make a shovel. Let's see what we've got to deal with here. Yeah, that's definite. Oh, okay, so there's some just over there. Alright, can we get over there without too much grief? Oh, okay, well we can, but we've got company. Let's try and work our way up this way a little more, although this doesn't look really promising. Do I have any ladders on me? Not in there. What about this one? Yes. Awesome. Okay, let's get up here. Yeah, I really want to know what that stuff is. That might be quite useful to us in the future. Go over there, or let's keep going up, just for the heck of it. Here we go. What is that? Lapis lazuli. Okay, I don't know whether that actually has any actual use in the game. We've got marble rock here though, which is kind of cool, so I'm going to have to remember this. We're not actually that far away from home. If we have a quick look at the map, you can see that home's just over there, so we're not that far away. I think that was that other really tall mountain that I was looking at a few minutes ago. But this one here, can we get up any higher without too much grief? I don't have any space to play with at all, so I will find out whether the lapis has actually got any use, or whether it's the same as normal Minecraft. Let's go up here, shall we? Ladders aren't going to prove to be a problem. I can make them at any time. Get so many sticks out of the willow. Here we go. Up and up and up and up. So we're not even at the highest point yet. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Let's get up to the very top. There we go. And we're still lower than that mountain over there, which is pretty freaky when you stop and think about it, because we're at 238 now. What's the temperature up here? I'm surprised that there's no snow, but then maybe it's because I've never actually been in this area while it's raining for snow to form. Let's have a quick look, shall we? So the temperature's 12 degrees. The average temperature here is 7.2, or about 7.2. And what are we looking at the moment? We're in late spring, coming into summer, and yeah, so it's certainly cool enough up here that if I ever wanted to make an ice box, this would probably be the place to go. And unfortunately, looks like the sun is setting for me, so I'm going to have to camp out for the night. Jesus, this looks good. Absolutely awesome. I want to move. Mind you, after climbing up and down these hills for a while, I guarantee you that I would want to move back. But anyway, let's... something that's not going to take up too much space, thanks. Pickaxe will do. Let's get the sun setting on the day up here, and I think that will be my screenshot for the next episode. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. Let's grab some of our supplies and let's get to work putting some walls in place. Now, what I'm probably... Oi, don't be rude. What I am going to be doing is, because of the way I've put the beams in, we're going to have fairly large windows all around. I've gone with the beams running this way, which means that at the front of the house, where we're looking square on, the beams will be visible like so. But when we come around to the side, the beams are actually going to be a little bit higher. Now, what I will be doing there is actually putting some venting in, so I won't be leaving it completely open, but I'm not going to fill it all the way up with wood either. I'll either be using slabs or possibly fences, and venting that, so you would have the effect of the air being able to flow through the top of the house. We're in a warm biome, so we want hot air to be able to get out of the house. So that's the logic that I'm working on, and hopefully that will look pretty good. The hard part is going to be the roof, and roofs are something that I'm never particularly fond of. They're not easy to do. With this one, the look will probably work this way. I'm going to have to experiment, but I'm going to have a peak here and a peak here, and then it will go back and it will bend again in a U shape, and hopefully it's all going to balance out, but I won't know until I actually get up there and start laying the blocks, and we'll see how that all goes. Now for here, we're going to have a doorway. Now this is currently 5 wide, so it's going to be a 1 wide doorway here, and donk. I don't think there's going to be any advantage in putting windows in there. I think that will be fine as it is once we get some steps and so forth here. We'll see how we go. I'm probably going to have a door in the back here as well. Let's take this torch out now that it's not necessary, and have a look at how this is going to pan out. Oop, missed. Now the floor, to start off, will be the thatch. It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap, and once I've got things in place, then I'll decide whether I'm going to switch it over to some sort of polished stone, most likely, but it's probably going to have to be something that's going to work with the colours. But the thatch means that I'm going to be able to quickly put a level underneath, which is where most of my storage is going to be. So that's how we're going to go. Plus, if we go back, thatch was a common floor material back in the old days, and I'm talking about the really, really old days, the dark ages. Let's see how we go here and here. Alright, so that's going to be the other doorway. Probably should take this off. Now, as far as this is concerned, to be honest, I think I want the large picture windows around here, because we do have a lovely view, and it may be that what I may do is use glass for the bigger windows and just use the planks for the smaller ones. I'm not really sure yet, but we'll play around and we'll see how it looks. The important thing is being sure that nothing's going to be able to actually get in. other than obviously the spiders, and we'll get to that soon enough. That's going to involve a little bit of work. Now I am tempted very much to actually run another veranda out this way, looking down over the animals, because we've got the nice view across to the side over there as well. But for now we'll just put a doorway in. We can always do some renovating later. And of course we're going to need another picture window in here. Fortunately I've got plenty of willow to work with. Oh, alrighty. So here we go. So let's just pop down and have a look, see what this looks like from down below. Looks like it's time to harvest the trees again. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm liking that. I do think that the green goes well with the sequoia. In fact, do I have enough of this? I probably do. Let's just pop a couple of window frames in here quickly, and see what this looks like from a distance. Particularly curious to see how the Z fighting looks from a distance, whether it is still visible or whether it tends to disappear at range. Alright, so these window frames are pretty straightforward. We need to find the center point, and we're laying either side, work our way around. The downside with these is you really do need to take your time, because when you're breaking these things it counts based upon the actual block. So if you misplace one, it will break every single one that you've just placed if you need to take one out. So yeah, it pays to be a little careful, but even so, sometimes things don't go quite the way you want them to. The sun's setting. We should have a nap, but we should be fairly safe up here at the moment, so let's see if we can get this finished. We'll probably have to have a nap before we go downstairs to have a look, because we're going to have company down there fairly soon. Okay, that's that one there. Oh, and I'm starving again. Nobody told me to eat. Okay, let's mix it up a little bit. We're going to have to go and slaughter a pig soon too, because all of my food has decayed. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that, bit of a frog in the throat then. Have we got all of those in place? We haven't missed any. No, that looks good. Let's pop the other one in here. Am I going to have enough planks? Yes, I am, definitely. So let's pop this one in as well, so we can get a good view of what it's going to look like. Matter of fact, we might go the extra step as well, and if we've got enough planks left from this remaining wood until those trees grow, we might make a chestnut door and see how that works together with it all. So let's get these in. Come on. I don't know how you guys feel about watching me just doing basic building work. I'm trying to cut out the more boring stuff, but I figure things like this are probably going to be interesting. and if we've done it once I can always cut it out the next time. I'm certainly not going to make you watch me do all of the windows in this place. That would be a little bit cruel. Alright, almost done. So we got there, there, and there, and 4 more. And finally we need to make up a door, and we've got enough left to make ourselves a chestnut door. Do we want it flush or do we want it recessed? We've got some 3D going already with the pillars coming out, and we're going to have an overhang with the roof, so I think for the time being we'll make this one flush and see how it goes. So that doesn't look too bad there. There is a little bit of Z fighting going on. Let's just duck down. Doesn't appear to be a lot of mobs around here, so the protection's probably holding up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Whoop. Should be a little bit more careful. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Particularly if we're going with the red on the roof. We don't want to go for more than 3 colours on the house. We've got the black around the base, but that's not really that visible, and that's not too much of a problem anyway, because as you tend to come up the stairs it comes into play there, but it doesn't really look that excessive. So I actually quite like the way this is turning out, and if we can get a roof that works, then I think it's actually going to look pretty good. Alright, however, I think that's probably more than enough time spent. I'm going to have to wander down and check the crops. I'm going to have to chop some trees, and I've got to wait for these chestnut trees to grow so that I've got the wood that I need to finish off the roof. I will do some experimentation on how we're going to do the edging around here, and see which looks better, fences or slabs. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I look forward to seeing you next time around, and until then, take care of each other and ciao for now.